Yes, I know.
Dark room.
Andy, are you starting us off?
Am I?
Apparently. That's what I was told.
David, you must have been pleased with how you turned things around there for the second half, and another excellent finish from Tierno Barry too.
Yeah, I was pleased that we got some back. We were really poor in the first half, and you know it was very difficult to put your finger on why and how, because we were set up for the game and realised how big a game it was for ourselves. But second half we got more control, controlled them better than we had in the first half, and in the end got a goal from it.
And was it just about matching Leeds' formation, or was it the introduction of the quality that you were able to bring off the bench that you think?
I think a bit of both. I think we couldn't quite contain Leeds at times in the first half as well as I would have liked. We knew what they would do and how they would play, but we weren't able to sort of make it work. My plan was not to use Jared as early or Kiernan, because Jared's probably not played for 8 months, and Kiernan's different. He could have probably played 45 minutes, but the idea was not to. So it wasn't as if these boys on the bench could play; they couldn't. And but getting them back, I thought they made a big difference when they come on.
Andy?
Oh, hi, David.
Hi there.
Okay, could you just talk a bit more about Tierno, what he went through, struggles early on. Mm-hmm. So it shows a lot of character to come out 4 goals, 5 games, and your faith in him as well. You must be delighted for him.
I'm really pleased for Tierno, because he's, I keep saying about, we're looking at, there's a lot of strikers in the Premier League cost a lot of money, and it's making it, it's not that easy for them either. And to be fair, we've not been creating that many chances. I think prior to it we have been, maybe not tonight, and recent games not as many opportunities, so he's had to take what he can. I think the bigger thing is, I said earlier to one of the other people, was to say he's a young French under-21 international, find his way. He doesn't, his English was okay but not great. I think he's just really beginning to get settled in and getting used to the whole club, the sort of the way the whole Premier League works, what's expected, the intensity of the league, and he's beginning to he's getting used to the work levels which are having to put in. And coming from that is that he's getting himself a few goals with it as well. And obviously, if you bring a number 9 in, you want him to score, so he's just beginning to get a few goals. But we need to try and create some more chances so that he can maybe get a few more.
Richard?
Yeah, David, just on the finish as well, because last week he took the goal very well against Villa. Today as well. Do you feel he's getting better as a finisher?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. There's a little bit of textbook. Centre forwards would tell better than me, but got across the defender and sort of finished it and put it away. It was a really good run. So he is. His training's getting better. His levels are improving. We're seeing that, which is pleasing for us. But I think that's also coming from him just getting sort of settled in and getting used to what's expected most weeks in as I said, the intensity of the Premier League.
David, how tough a decision was it to take Merlin out and take Harrison off at half-time, given how well they'd done at Villa?
It was difficult to leave Merlin out, and I didn't use him tonight because I felt that I needed Kiernan in the position to be more creative. No, it was a difficult choice tonight for what I'd done. I thought Harrison had done enough to start again, but again, he's 18, 19, so it's a lot to ask. Leeds are a strong, powerful team, so it was quite a difficult night from in the first half, but it wasn't necessarily any worse than many others. It was just that I had to find a way of getting something which might give me a chance of getting back in the game.
And just on Ehrlichman, he comes in and plays on the right in the first half. Just how tough a decision on the left? Sorry, how tough a decision was it between him and Dwight as to who plays on which side? Because we know Ehrlichman can play on the left as well.
That wasn't a tough decision, because I know that Ellie's played on the right for us early in the season, but I know that last season he played mainly on the left. I think if he said, he would probably tell you he felt more comfortable on the left, but in truth he's been so good on the right as well, so it felt a bit easier just to put him on the left and Dwight on the right.
Paul?
David, I was just wondering if there's any update on Jack Grealish, whether he needs an op now.
No, we're getting closer to knowing, but we're thinking that we're waiting on the surgeon saying what he thinks is the right choice. We're getting closer to it, and hopefully we'll be able to update you very shortly.
And just any closer to bringing anybody in, or
No,
trying still?
Not at the moment. I don't know anymore. I might find out a bit more the next day or two.
Yeah, thanks.
Any further questions? No? Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Good evening.
Graham first, just on the left. We'll go around usual order, our locals, and then take any questions afterwards. Graham, when you're ready.
Daniel, did you feel like the second half was always going to be difficult, and did it play out as you expected?
Yes, to be honest, I fully expect this because overall, really good result for us here on the road to travel away with 1 point after also impressive result for Everton in the last game against the top side. First half was outstanding, one of the best away performances we've shown. I think very dominant, didn't allow any chances. Was a bit unlucky that we couldn't capitalize even more because we had so many good situations where we could play the final pass or the second last pass even a bit tidier. But nevertheless, we had still great chances. Ilya Gruev, Dominic probably with the best chance, should have scored in this situation. We had the chance to bury there. Because Everton is a top side and well-managed side, and they have so much quality also on the bench, and to throw into it was clear that at some point in the second half they would show up, and yes, they had then more possession in the second half and were then dominant in possession. I still got the feeling that we were controlling the game also against the ball with less possession, yes, but we didn't allow too many chances. I think Khaled, before the goal, one good save, after a good finish, and after the goal there was one header against the crossbar. Yes, but apart from this, it was more or less just a goal anyhow. And yeah, the situation we could have defended a bit sharper. So first the cross in, and then the situation in the center. So also like the reaction of my lad that in the last 10 minutes after this, we then got the momentum a bit more on our side and had many corner kicks and set piece situations for us and good counter attacks as well. I haven't double checked right now the statistics, but the gut feeling is, although Everton had more possession in the second half, the feeling was still that we should be there with more expected goals, with more shots, with more big chances missed than them. So we were pretty close also like to win this game. But it was not to be, and we also have to respect their quality, and it's a tough place, and for that we take the point and move on.
And Gabriel Goodmanson, what's the exact situation with him?
Yes, sadly, he's got a little strain in his adductor, so he was always going to miss this game. We hope to have him back as quick as possible, so depends on the further assessment. Initial assessment was not great. It has said perhaps 3 to 4 weeks. But right now it looks a bit brighter, so we have a second opinion. I hope to have him back as quick as possible so that he maximum misses 1 or perhaps 2 games, but not more, because obviously he's an important player for us, although I have to say James Justin was today on this position also excellent.
Hi Daniel. Based on how the second half unfolded, why were you comfortable waiting until the 85th minute, I think, for the big sort of tranche of 3 substitutes there?
It was a difficult situation because obviously Everton has changed their formation to 3 at the back, and we didn't have a problem in terms of defending the processes. It was more the other way around. So we still controlled it, and of course due to their quality they need to show up. Of course they would have here and there a situation. But we lost a bit the control in possession, a bit our process in possession. For that I was even thinking about changing to 3 midfield players, more or less to take a centre back out and to change to a 4-3-3 even a bit earlier to get more dominance back. On the other side, there is more or less then the thought, okay, you are missing already 2 key players in the defense with Jaka Biol and Gabi Gudmundsson. You have finished the last game against Fulham with a clean sheet. You are here after 60, 70 minutes, still there with a clean sheet. You don't allow chances. You defend really, really well in the last row. So if you right now take a centre back out and risk to defend just with form information, although you haven't conceded in the last nearly 2 games, it would be also madness if you 1-0 lead here in this game. So yes. Afterwards, you could say, yeah, perhaps it would have been better to do it even before, but you never know. So perhaps it would be even worse. So it's always difficult to say. But it was something I was thinking about, but it was difficult because overall, I have to say what the lads have done in terms of defending all the opponent's attacks, not just in this game, but also in the last game in our 5 at the back, was spot on. And for that, we just changed more or less to it after 80 minutes or whenever it was.
A few results over the weekend with the teams that were around you in the league. I know you focus on yourselves all the time, but obviously you were made to wait to give your response to that tonight with the Monday night game. So how much did you focus or talk about what was happening elsewhere in the division in your pre-match preparation for this?
Not at all. We really, honestly, it's not a phrase. We just focus on this game because we can't influence what other teams are doing. And yeah, of course, it's more like a long road of 38 game days. You don't have always game days who go into your favor, because otherwise, if you would each every game day extend the gap, then the gap is at some point so big that we would win the title anyhow. It won't work in this way. So sometimes you also have to accept that also the teams around you win sometimes a game and a home game anyhow. So for us, it was just important to show another good performance, to win as many points as possible. Again, slightly disappointed that we didn't win all 3 points, because it was possible today, but nevertheless, I have to give compliments to the lads, and I have to say that it's a good result on the road, and we move 1 point closer. So for that, really, not 1% focus on other results or other game. Just focus on this game, and with this game, we should be really content.
Isaac?
Hi, Daniel. Just coming off of what we've just said there, you've not won away in the Premier League since September. How much of an issue is that for you, or is it, as long as you draw, it's okay?
Yes, would have preferred whatever this time 4 or 5 wins on the road, but then we would play for Europe. And also, it's more or less like, yes, you will always find for a promoted side who is in the battle to stay in this league something what you can improve. Sometimes it's home form. Away form, I wouldn't say it's a problem. If you have a look in our last away games, anyhow, Liverpool clean sheet, before point in Sunderland, outstanding performance at Newcastle, got lots of praise, anyhow. Yes, sometimes it's also like the quality of the opponent who then wins the game in the last moment of the game, like Newcastle, or also today with one good situation, perhaps to secure a point for the home team. This is what you have to accept. So it's not a concern for me. For me, it's important, more or less encouraging that we had another really, really good away performance. And if we keep going like this, if we deliver performances like this, then the results will come. Is also like underrated because they are there. Anyhow, we are whatever in the last 10 games we have just 1 loss. Anyhow, so we are on a good road, and for that it's nothing I'm too concerned about.
Do you expect any transfer activity this week? Any incomings?
No, for me, not the time to speak about this straight after the game. Also, for me, it's important that this group has again proven that we have enough in order to win us enough points to stay in this league. And for that, this is the major thing for me, the most encouraging thing. I also hope that we have some good news from our injuries, that Jakabiol and Gabi Goodmans will be back soon. And then we have also enough in order to stay in this league.
Stuart?
Daniel, a typical performance from Brendan Aronson today, particularly now you've got that extra option in his position. Is it almost his job not to last the game, to empty the tank early in the games?
He can't empty the tank because he can cover 15k, and the next day he covers again 15k. So Brendan Aronson has so much energy, so he gives really from the first second always everything. So I haven't seen one game where he was saving himself that he can last for 90 minutes. Anyhow, he always gives everything. And when I then got the feeling, okay, I take him off out of whatever reason, I will do this. But it will never be that he's running out of fuel, because this fuel of this lad is endless.
And do you feel like the team's growing in confidence in the difficult phases of games on the back of this form that you're in?
Yes, each every good result and each every good performance is encouraging, and we are still a newly promoted side, and for that also to come to places like Sunderland, anyhow, and when they were in hot form, no one has won there, and then to show a good performance, to drive away with 1 point, to go to Liverpool, to return back with a clean sheet, to go to Everton, and everyone is slightly disappointed it wasn't all 3, to go to Newcastle and get lots of praise for the performance. This is always good for the confidence, but on the other hand, it's also no reason right now to lose the ground under our feet. So we have to invest always 100%. We have to find a good balance between being rock solid and well structured, and on the other hand also brave and confident with the ball. We need to show this in each every game, because we won't win any points on this level due to our individual quality. We have to win it with the team, and this is very encouraging.
Yeah. Daniel, just wanted to ask you about the stadium. I mean, there's been talk about Elland Road being developed and expanded, very similar to Goodison Park. What was it like, though, coming to Everton at the new stadium for the first time?
Yes, I think overall the stadium is very impressive, and also in the second half you could feel when they had also parts when they were on top of the game or equalized, then it was also a great atmosphere. In general, I don't want to be involved in discussions about the stadium, what other clubs are doing, because I'm too respectful for this in order to give then my opinion. I'm too far away. I also wouldn't expect that anyone comments the ongoing, what we are doing at Leeds United. For us, the task will be to keep more or less like the tradition, the history of the stadium, and to keep also the very second to none and special atmosphere at Elland Road, and also to make sure that on the other hand it's still a state-of-the-art and very modern stadium. I think this balance is important to value the history and not to change anything in terms of the noise and the mood and everything. but on the other hand, also like, of course, to make sure that it's really not dated and also ready, also like for the future. This is more or less the task for our key people who are responsible for this. But I'm not the builder of the stadium. This is for more important people in this topic, and for that I don't want to comment too much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Have a good evening. All the best. Safe travels. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.